Fall is the perfect time to romanticize your life as a homemaker. I view any new season as a fresh start. I think any kind of extra motivation that can just give you that boost of energy to help you out in your normal day-to-day chores, tasks, whatever, is so helpful. So I am setting the mood. I've got music going, I've got a candle going, I've got the kids set up with an activity, and it's time to just clean my whole house, do some decorating, and get in the autumn spirit. I am usually a sucker for fall. It is my favorite season and time of year. Well, Christmas is my favorite time of year probably, but fall just kind of leads into that beautifully. And I enjoy when the weather starts to kind of turn and it's cooler and the leaves fall, just all the basic girl stuff. I love it. But this year I wasn't as excited about it just because summer is a great season for young kids. Obviously, we can go to parks and enjoy the sunshine. They can go out in the backyard and they're at a great age where it's all fenced in and they can just go out there and I don't have to worry about them for the most part. They do make a big mess, but other than that, it's okay. So I wasn't exactly begging for fall this year. But as soon as we had one day where the weather changed a little bit and it got a little rainy, I decided it was time to pull out the decorations and decided to start with a clean slate as usual. I feel like it's always a good idea to do a little clean and wipe down before you decorate. I am also doing a series on my channel of videos for deeper cleaning. So I did one last week and I will continue next week. Today, however, we are not doing any deep cleaning, just the typical mopping, wiping counters, all of that good stuff. So this is just your basic day-to-day cleaning as a homemaker. I am a stay-at-home mom and I have two toddlers, a 3-year-old boy and a 2-year-old girl. I really appreciate staying home with them. I love being able to be a homemaker and I've really embraced this role. It's funny because I really used to be kind of anti-traditional roles or gender roles. Like when my husband and I were first dating and married, I was working a ton. We were both working and bringing in the money, and we were dinks, dual income, no kids. So we would travel. We'd even go to Disney World by ourselves. And anyways, all that to say, I never really saw myself as a stay-at-home mom. I did always kind of want to be a mom when I was younger, but as I got older and it was more of a reality that I could be a mom and have kids, I just kind of pushed that idea away. But I love it. I love being a stay-at-home mom. Don't get me wrong, there are so many moments. There's basically a moment every day where I'm struggling. It's hard. I get overstimulated and overwhelmed. But it's still such a beautiful thing and such an amazing responsibility to be a mom, to be a homemaker, and I've really embraced it. So I'm even making sourdough bread now. I didn't think that I was ever going to get on this trend because I felt like it was too trendy. I felt like it was almost cliche, like every stay-at-home mom needed to make sourdough bread. And I also was a little bit intimidated. It sounded like such a hard thing, like you have to feed it and everyone was giving their starter names and putting them in the oven and making sure the temperature's right and just all these crazy things. But one of my friends actually started a small business because she just fell in love with sourdough, and she would offer classes, like in-person classes. She does ebooks and all this cool stuff. So I wanted to support her business. I'd always been somewhat interested in sourdough. So I went to a class and I absolutely loved it. And it's so much easier than I originally thought. You don't have to go crazy. I only feed my starter when I'm actually going to bake a loaf because I just keep a small amount. I follow her recipe to a T and it turns out amazing every time. So I highly recommend checking it out, or really just doing any kind of baking for fall. There are amazing banana bread recipes. You could just make some muffins, pumpkin stuff, pumpkin bread, pumpkin muffins. That reminds me, I need to add a can of pumpkin to my next Walmart order because I made so many yummy pumpkin recipes last year, and I definitely want to get in on that again this year. So I really hope that this video can bring you some motivation. A big part of this is just romanticizing your life as a homemaker and finding the joy in the mundane, finding little spurts of motivation where you can. So it's a new season. It's a fun time. It's a time to be cozy and decorate and make yummy coffee and just enjoy yourself and find the little things that you can appreciate. So I'm really in this season of gratitude, and I guess it makes sense with Thanksgiving coming up. I hadn't even thought of that until I was editing this video, but I really encourage you to just take the time to think about some stuff that you're grateful for. So I am so grateful to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm grateful for my house. We just made that little coffee bar over the summer, and I got to pick out the shelves and the counter and all of that, and my husband and I designed it together, and then him and one of our good friends put it together and actually built it. And it's so nice to just have just that extra beautiful space in our home. And I love coffee. I make it into a thing. I romanticize my coffee, so having a whole little coffee bar to do that is so fun. And then I romanticize my sourdough bread, and I made 2 loaves this time, so it was my first time splitting the dough and making it into 2, which was so fun to experiment with it a little bit. And it's also just fun to play with the dough. It's hard to not want to just keep stretching it out like how kids play with Play-Doh and stuff. I feel like it really is just therapeutic and enjoyable. So I really am just wanting to find those things to focus on and put my thoughts towards being grateful to God for everything that He's given me. And I really encourage you to do the same, because when you shift your mindset from, oh, I need to do these chores, this is annoying, this is hard, this is stressful, and I just have to keep wiping the same counters over and over, and sticky fingers and all of that, it's so easy to get in a rut and get into that mindset. But as soon as you shift your thinking, you will definitely feel better. You will be in a better place. So I highly recommend, journaling or just writing down some things that you're grateful for, or even just thinking about them as you're doing the laundry, as you're wiping the kitchen, or whatever it is you need to get done. I recommend involving your toddlers in almost everything that you do around the house. So when it comes to decorating, that one is obviously more fun than just involving them in the laundry or whatever. But I know that this can be a therapeutic time for yourself. And if you just want the me time of decorating and cleaning with a podcast on or something like that, I totally get it, and totally encourage moms taking time for themselves and again, doing little things that spark joy for themselves. However, if you are open to the idea of doing it with your kids, it was super fun to see my son getting really excited about it, pulling all the pumpkins out and lining them up. It was just super fun. He was asking where we're going to put things, and they talked about the decorations for a few days even after we put them up. So it's just really fun to involve toddlers. There they go, hitting my camera. But this is another view at that coffee bar that I was talking about, and this is the first season that I'm getting to decorate for. Before I just had some minimal decorations up there, so I wanted to use only my neutral fall decor. I wasn't even planning on decorating, but again, I mentioned there was this one day that was cooler weather. It was kind of overcast and rainy, and I just decided we're pulling out the fall decorations, we're cleaning. I'm gonna have a pumpkin spice latte, although I don't like the pumpkin spice lattes as much this year. PSLs from Starbucks. Yes, I am that basic girl. But I have been doing a shot of pumpkin and a shot of white chocolate, and that's really good. So highly recommend trying that instead of your basic pumpkin spice latte, or trying out your local coffee shops because they always have really good seasonal favorites, and I just enjoy those. I used to be a Starbucks person, and don't get me wrong, I obviously still go there. I did on this day, but it's also just really nice to support local businesses and enjoy the more cozy feeling of going into a fun little coffee shop and actually ordering your drink in a mug and all of that. So that was a coffee tangent, but back to decorating. Again, my kids enjoyed doing it with me. It was fun. I added just some minimal decor all over. So on the dining table and then in the kitchen, I just added a couple more fall colored pumpkins, so orange and yellow, and I thought it looked really good with that big cutting board I actually got from Costco. I've been wanting a big one just to lean up against the counter or against the backdrop, whatever that's called, backsplash, and I really like that one. But I just really enjoy decorating. It is such a fun part of being a homemaker, and I don't feel like it gets enough credit in homemaking, but my husband enjoyed seeing that we had decorated. My kids loved the decorations, so it really is something that the whole family benefits from, and it makes your home feel even more homey and cozy and comfy and welcoming and inviting. So I don't ever feel like it's like a selfish thing to do. I've been thinking about that lately, and just decorating is a huge part of homemaking, and just making your space feel really comfortable and making everyone there feel at ease and at home. And fall is an especially great season for that. But Christmas is definitely my favorite, so I'm very excited for decorating for that. But even just your typical home, like furniture and decor and however you style your home is an expression of homemaking. So yeah, don't discredit the work you do there. In my opinion, it's more fun than the cleaning and the chores and the laundry and the tasks you have to do, but it's still just as important. So I don't know. I hope that this gives you guys some motivation to do your own little decorations in your home, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy expensive or extravagant. I went pretty minimal this year. I didn't buy anything new, and I love the way it turned out. My name is Mallory, and I love making videos about all things motherhood. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to stay tuned for future videos. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.